Hey drummers, I'm Rob Litton here from drumstheword.com and welcome to this free mini song lesson where I'm going to show you how to play the best parts, the main parts from the song Your Wife Is Calling by Sound City Players, aka the Foo Fighters, drummed of course by Taylor Hawkins. And you can download the free PDF that comes with this lesson. I've got 2 pages of the best parts of the track for you, so you can have this printed out in front of you as I go through this with you during this lesson. And the first thing I want to say about the song is it's in 7/4. So this is what makes it the quirkiest. This is what makes it quirky, really. The fact that it's in 7/4. That's the time signature. So we're counting 7 beats per bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't let the intro at the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put you off. We're actually counting in 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that makes it quite tricky already. Then Taylor plays around with that, and throughout the song we get great examples of this as we see later on. But the first one I want to show you occurs right at the beginning of the song where Taylor comes in. And what he's doing is the bass drum is following the melody, dan 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 dan, which is basically this pattern in 7. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and so it's 1, 2, 3 and then the ands. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. That's what gives that rhythm. Da 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 da. It's on the beat and then off the beat, but it's in 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we get that da 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 riff repeating throughout the song, and Taylor tends to have the bass drum follow it. But for this first section, the snare drum maintains this 4/4 feel by playing every 2 beats on the back beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But we're still counting in 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that snare drum backbeat maintains the evenness, so you could be full during 4/4, but the melody and the bass drum are playing in 7. And what that happens with what that means with the snare drum is it goes from playing on 2, 4, and 6 in the first bar, and then in the next bar of 7, we then play the snare drum backbeat on 1, 3, 5, and 7. It then switches to the other numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can see each bar is slightly different. But let me go through what we got. We're up on the crash cymbal, the first bar, and I've written in some of the ghost notes as well on the snare drum that I think he might be playing, but of course feel free to leave these out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and for the first bit, then 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and then the next bar, again the snare drum comes down on the downbeat of beat 1 now, we get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 and 3, and then 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and again I think there's a ghost note there at the end, 7 and the notes written in brackets, a ghost notes played as a little tap. So slowly those 2 bars, and it doesn't really make sense without the music, does it? You can't really hear it, but as soon as you hear the da 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 da, the bass drum and snare drum line up nicely. First 2 bars. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and that's the first 2 lines, and you could play that through most of the song, that would work. The next line, it continues, we get back to the beginning of the 2-bar pattern. So exactly the same as the first bar we just went over, but at the end of the bar he throws in a little sneaky double with the bass drum foot. I believe Taylor is single pedal, so he plays a single pedal. You can feel free to play it double pedal if you wanted to, but we get 6 and 7 and a 1. 6 and 7 and a, and because of the tempo of the song, I've written it's 213 BPM, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those 16th notes are incredibly fast. So we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and I can't really count it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and a. Just know you go into the next bar with a. Feel free to leave out that kick pattern if you wanted to. Just play a single bass drum note. So let me go into that last bar, and this is a recurring theme as well, where we get the riff, dan 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 dan, And what Taylor does is he emphasises on the crash cymbal while still maintaining the bass drum and snare drum. So that last bar is 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. Notice that crash cymbal is going da 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 da. Downbeats then the upbeats. So that second line, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. Those two lines slowly, and I'll play up to speed for you. And now let's hear those two lines up to speed. So this next groove occurs 10 seconds into the song. It's my favourite groove from the song. It's Taylor playing on the floor tom, and he's come up with this drum beat. And we're going to ignore the ghost note on the end to start off with. I'm going to play up. Actually, what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to play the next drum beat that occurs at 17 seconds, which is exactly the same as the one above it, but a little bit easier to read because we're playing our right hand on the hi-hat and not the floor tom. So let me just play that next drum beat for you, the one that occurs at 0:17 on the notation here in front of you. We get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, and we get this turnaround at the end of the bar where we get 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and these offbeat bass drum and snare drum notes following that riff. But notice the hi-hat, the quarter notes are maintaining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Feel free to add in your own ghost notes as well. So going back to the previous drum beat, which occurs at 10 seconds, we're just playing exactly the same but on the floor tom. Really, really cool. So first of all, let's hear that floor tom version played up to speed without the microphone on so you can hear just the drums. And then briefly for fun, let's hear the drum beat that occurs at 17 seconds on the hi-hat up to speed without the microphone on so you can hear just the drums. So this next section occurs at 25 seconds, and it's played between the ride and the crash cymbal. I believe Taylor is playing up on the bell of the ride cymbal, but feel free to play it around the bell. You don't have to play it exactly on the bell. But we get this first bar where the bass drum is following the guitar riff and the snare drums maintain that 4/4 illusion. So exactly the same as our first drum beat from the beginning. It's exactly the same. Going into the second bar, because that snare drums maintain that 4/4 illusion, we then get the snare drum starting on beat 1, and we get a snare drum and crash. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. So there's two bars together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. So the next line emphasises those crash cymbal stabs, da, 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 da. But these two bars are really good as an example of how the snare drum is maintained in its position while those crash cymbal stabs are playing the riff in 7/4. So we get this for the first bar, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and the next bar, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. And I think we get a little ghost note there, 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. On beat 6 there, we get So feel free to put in those kind of ghost notes. That's from the more advanced drummer, though. So don't feel under pressure to put those ghost notes in. So those last two lines. Sorry, got the second bar wrong. I'll keep these mistakes in because you might find you do the same. I rushed into those stabs. I'm not really counting up. I'm sort of hearing the melody in my head. So let's play those two lines together. 1, 2. There we go. So now let's try and play it up to speed without the microphone on. Here we go. So this next section occurs at 41 seconds, and it's really just a little hi-hat bark that I wanted to include that stood out. Taylor is playing the floor tom groove we talked about already. So that's going on, but then he plays this drum fill almost. On the second bar of the notation here, we get the drum beat starting the same, 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 5. But then we get 5 and 6 and 5 and 6 and use that sticking, left, right, left, and 6 and 7 and then that snare drum at the end is still maintained on the and of 7. So that second bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 1. Let's put the two bars together. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 1. And now let's hear those two bars up to speed. So this next section just throws the average listener off completely because then they change to a new time signature and I'm hearing it as 9/4. So they've added an extra 3 beats to the end of the bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's a real interesting one to count through this. And we get these stabs going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8. We get this going across the bar of 9/4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8, 7 and 8. So at the end there, that's the surprising bit. We get 7 on its own, open hi-hat, 7 and 8, closes with the snare drum on a flam on the snare drum on beat 8, and then 9 is rested, and then we come in with the next two bars I've written, which is in 4/4. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 occurring. So those next two bars, the bars in 4, we get very simply 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 with a little adder at the end. So we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8. Oh, it's so hard to count. But I found a cheat. The crash cymbals are going. After the fourth crash cymbal, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, you could come down to the open hi-hat there as if you're continuing that grouping of 3 eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So if you watch my right hand, I should maintain that pattern. And that's how you get that's how I cheated it. I'm just thinking da 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 da, and then leaving a beat. It's sort of like that. It's easy to play along with the music though. The music keeps you in time for you, but very, very tight playing this. Really cool idea. Very, very unique. So let's hear those 3 bars played up to speed. So then towards the end of the song, we get this bar of this stab in 4/4, so 4 beats of the bar. It occurs at 2 minutes 22. We're on the loose hi-hat. We get for the first bar 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the second bar, the important bit, is the stabs 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and. So come off the right hand with the hi-hat, snare on its own, so your right hand is then free to play the crash cymbal on the and of 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and choke it on the second stab. And don't miss it like that. The hi-hat also closes, so you get silent with the hi-hat, it's not ringing out. So we get this. Notice those 2 crash cymbals on the and, the upbeats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So they're not letting you off. Even in the 4/4 sections, we've got these offbeat stabs. But that's in 4/4 at least. And then the last, well, before we go on, let's just hear that played up to speed for you. And then the last section I want to talk about occurs at 2 minutes 39. And I'll put my hands up and say I could have, but I didn't want to put too much time into it today. I could not work out exactly what metric modulation they used going from the bars of 7 into this new section. It's kind of, they used the triplet, quarter note triplet, I believe, something like that, or the every third eighth, the dotted quarter note, which then turns into the new quarter note. Anyway, we don't have to worry about that too much because you've got the song to listen to help you go into this new section. But we got this da 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 dum da dum dum da. It goes into this new section, which feels like it slows down. They're still staying in time. It's very, very clever. They used a metric modulation effect where a length of a note then becomes a new length of a note, and we hear this drum beat occurring in 4/4. Really, really clever idea, but it fits beautifully with the bars, fits beautifully with the song, and comes out in time. Again, I'm not going to confuse you too much with what it is exactly. Let's just play it. So I've rewritten it as 4/4, even though it's not the same as the previous bars in tempo and notation length. It's, if you read it off the page, it will sound like the section in the song. You just got to get it in time, slow it down. So we get this. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Very simple. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then a ghost note, 4 and little ghost note on the of 4. Into the next bar. 1 and 2. Again a little ghost note on the of 2. 1 and 2, 3. Then we go into eighth note triplets. So within the new feel, we're going into triplets. So very, very clever ideas. This 3 and 4, and so you start to swing it. 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So you go from eighth notes, 1 and 2, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, into triplets, which is easy, which is not easy, which is quirky. And then this next idea, very cool idea, played in triplets quite a lot by drummers, where you're basically playing right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, but the sedge on backbeat comes out on beat 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, with the left hand nicely. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, and the bass drum just simply follows the right hand. But you can't get into that too long because then the last bar he changes it to accenting every second note, and it comes out nicely with left, right, left on the snare drum back into the dun 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 dun. Where it feels like it speeds up back to normal tempo again. So those 4 bars slowly. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2. 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. And let's do it up to speed, a little bit faster first with the drum beat before and after it. I'm not getting the change in tempo right. Coming out of it will be more interesting though. So you've got to hear the song in your head to come out of it correctly. So finally, let's hear those 4 bars played up to speeds, kind of correctly. Yeah, up to speed. Here we go. So there you go, hope you found that fun and useful. Don't forget to download the free PDF that came with this lesson. You'll find both sheets on my website and the link for these sheets beneath this video. And then you might also want to consider signing up to become an online member at my website, drumstheword.com. And what I currently offer for $97 is a full year's access to every single full video song lesson I've ever recorded and transcribed. That's over 350 famous songs. Unlike this lesson where I just taught you the main parts, the 350 full song lessons, I teach you every single note from start to finish, every drum beat, every drum fill. And like I said, I've got over 350 famous and popular songs on the website already. Loads of Foo Fighters stuff up there already. As a thank you for signing up and getting access to all those videos, I give you even more videos teaching you famous drum beats, fills and solos. I give you 3 ebooks I've written over the years containing hundreds more famous drum beats, fills and solos. And then over the year of your subscription, you also gain instant online access to all the new material that I upload for my members. So you've got lots of cool stuff to look forward to. And I record every week unless I'm ill or on holiday. So lots of stuff to look forward to over the year of your subscription. But again, any questions about any of that, feel free to email me, rob@drumstheword.com. And until our next drum lesson together, toodle pip and happy drumming to you.